Hey, this is Scott Spears, and I'd like to welcome you to yet another edition of The Exchange, first episode in 2024. How about that? I'm along here with my pals, Kerrington Nelson and Matt Morgan. Here we are in 2024. Matt, how's 2024 treating you?
Pretty good so far.
Carrington, how's 2024?
I've had a pretty good year thus far. I am covered in hives right now, so that's not been the highlight of anything.
I wasn't going to say it. I wasn't going to say it.
If I'm itching, that's why.
But you don't know why. You don't know where they came from.
I have no idea why, so that's fun.
If you're itching, you've told people.
Yeah, if I'm itching, now you guys know. So.
Honesty in broadcasting in 2024.
So transparent, always.
We had a great 2023, so I hope we have a great 2024.
I'm looking forward to it. I bet we will.
You'll have the full breadth of this year. You know, last year we were just 6 months. This year, hey, we'll take the whole thing.
We've got the whole thing.
Celebrating Groundhog Day together.
By the way,
wait. Plug away.
Yes, on Groundhog Day, February 8th, I believe. February 2nd. I love Groundhog Day, you can see.
As you can see, she's a big connoisseur of Groundhog Day.
8:15 to 11, we're going to be celebrating Groundhog Day here at WWGH. We're going to have Warren Groundhog Harding here, and he's going to be eating some groundhog pizza to decide if there's going to be 6 more weeks of winter or an early spring. And we have 100% accuracy on our groundhog, so you're not going to want to miss his prediction.
And the big thing is, guess who the groundhog is? Nobody knows. It's the best kept secret in show business.
Yes.
Now, we're going to do what we do best here is we're going to do current events, and we've got some great ones this week. Now, let's start with the Washington Post. We talk about the Washington Post quite a bit here on this station. The Washington Post put out in the new year, here we are in the new year, how to have better mental health in the year 2024. And here's what they say. This is the Washington Post's advice. Forget FOMO, embrace JOMO.
What's JOMO?
You don't know what either one of those things
I know
are.
FOMO, fear of missing out. I know FOMO.
Fear of missing out, absolutely.
JOMO?
I didn't know what either one of these things were, so this is all new to me.
Oh, no, FOMO,
said,
I experienced FOMO.
If somebody said forget FOMO, I would say, is that like a hair color? Is that a hairstyle? No. I don't know what FOMO is. But you're right. FOMO is the fear of missing out. JOMO is the joy of missing out. Basically, the idea is don't worry what other people are doing. Focus on your own happiness, not what others are doing. So forget FOMO, embrace JOMO. That's the advice on how to have good mental health in 2024. So says the Washington Post. What do you think, Matt?
I think that's probably right. I think that I don't think you should be worried about who you're not hanging out with and what the people you're not doing stuff with are doing. I think that you should worry about what you're doing, what you could be doing in that time.
I think, as I was reading this article, and there's more to it, obviously, than what I've said, but it's social media drives this.
That's what I was going to say, 100%. I think it's so much easier to say forget it if you weren't on social media seeing what other people are doing.
That's it. Yep. People see what other people are doing, and they go, oh, I wish I would be there. I wish I was around them, especially people who are no longer in your life. This is a big source of FOMO.
I think people who are on social media a lot sometimes forget that what goes on social media isn't necessarily the truth, and a lot of times it's most likely just a front.
100% it's a front.
Yeah.
Except the pictures we put up. Those are not fronts. Those are true happiness right there.
I've heard it called a highlight reel before, that you're only like highlighting your best moments on social media because nobody's going to get on social media and say, I had the worst day, my life sucks.
But you know what I don't understand? Now, clearly we do ours for advertisement. I mean, if you go down my Facebook page, that's what it is. It's advertisement. I say it's advertisement. I say we did a taping. We had a good time, and 90% of the time we do have a good time. But what I don't understand is if you're posting about your personal life, okay, if that really is as happy a moment as you are professing it is, how did you have time to stop and take a picture? Mm-hmm. Oh, hold on. This is the happiest moment I'm having. Stop it right now. Let's get the phone out. Let's take a picture of this thing. Let's document this happy moment. That wouldn't happen.
Yeah, especially staged photos where you're like, okay, everyone get together and smile. Maybe if, you see somebody else and you're like, oh, this is a good moment to take a picture. I can tell that they're having a good time. That's fine. But whenever it's staged, it does seem a little more inauthentic.
Well, isn't a staged photo staged? That's what it is. It's not reality. It's not like somebody's a photographer over in the corner taking pictures. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I think it's still just the idea of if you see a staged photo of people you think are your friends hanging out without you, that's obviously going to get to you a little bit. So easier said than done on the forget FOMO, I would say.
But you say that you have FOMO.
I've experienced it before, definitely.
Why do you have FOMO?
Probably social media, and just like if I'm out of town or something and my friends are hanging out and I can't be there, it's like, oh, like I'd rather be there if I have work, like I'd rather not be at work and doing stuff with other people that I'd rather be with.
Yeah, but they don't necessarily not want you there. It's just a circumstantial thing. So,
yeah, but you're still missing out. Like the FOMO is the fear of missing out, so you're still missing out on the time, even if it's not intentional.
Why would that cause FOMO though? Like if I'm with friends and I'm the one who can't be there because I've got to work or I've got a previous engagement, even though I might have wanted to be there, I caused the problem. So, I mean, it's not like they excluded me. I would think major FOMO would come from being excluded, or seeing somebody happy after maybe you're no longer around them. I think that would cause FOMO. Like I know doing entertainment for a while that when sometimes people depart programs, if they see the person who, I don't like to use the term replaced, but is basically sitting in their chair, that can cause FOMO.
Yeah, definitely. And I understand that there's probably greater FOMO if you intentionally weren't invited. I'm just trying to think that there are different case scenarios where you could feel FOMO, because even if you were invited and you just can't be there because of other obligations, like you're still missing out if you'd rather go do that thing, but you just like have an obligation and you can't.
I just think it'd be more intense if you were excluded purposely.
Oh, definitely.
And you knew it.
Yeah.
You might just, I think if you were at work and you just couldn't go, you might dislike work, but you're not going to dislike the people who are having the good time.
Yeah, but you're not disliking it. It's the fear of missing out. So you're upset that you missed out. That's what FOMO is.
But why is that a fear?
I don't know. You don't want to think you're missing out on memories. Like what happens if, you're with them in the future and they're like, oh, remember this time? And you're like, no.
Does it
no,
cause
because I wasn't there. It might. Maybe that's what's going on.
Her FOMO's kicking in 2024 already.
Yeah.
Now, Matt, you don't have FOMO, you say?
No, I don't think so. I think, because like you guys said, a lot of it does come from social media, I'd say, and I don't use social media like at all. I use Snapchat, and I use it to talk to my friends, so that doesn't even necessarily count.
I don't really think I have this either, because to be honest, I don't look at people's stuff. I mean, I turn on the computer to put things on there, but I really don't scroll.
Yeah, I don't ever really browse on social media.
I mean, I'll see what's there. Like, I have seen things because and it'll be the thing that's there when I have to, post it on the, the timeline.
The feed.
The feed, after getting the feed. So I'll see those things. But if they're not there immediately, I don't go down the feed trying to see what other people are doing. I think you're bringing that on yourself.
Yeah, I mean, somewhat, but that's kind of the point of social media, to see what other people are doing. And people say it's to keep in touch with people, kind of. But there's positives and negatives to it, because obviously if you struggle with FOMO and you are wanting to be with other people and you're feeling lonely, social media is probably not going to comfort you.
Well, see, I don't think that. Well, you know what? I use social media 2 reasons: promotion and contact. Because there are people on there who I probably am not going to talk to on the phone or do that. So there's that. But other than that, I don't go down there to see what people. I don't care what people are doing. That is always a weird thing to me. Like when somebody comes up and says, "Did you see what blah blah blah? Did you see what they're doing? Did you see who they're around? Did you?" No, and I don't care.
No.
And who cares?
Not my problem. Not my life.
Let them go on. They're monkeys, they're circus.
That's true. That's a good mentality to have, because definitely not fun to have FOMO.
Because if you are around somebody, you've always got to remember this. This is the best thing you should learn in life. But let me give you a little lesson here right now. There's a reason you're not around certain friends, certain relationships, and certain family members anymore. Something bad has happened. That same bad thing is going to... that person was not cured of that problem just because you're not in their life anymore. So they might act all happy, they're not cured.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
So no fear of FOMO. How do you get to JOMO, the joy of missing out, to where you say, listen, I need to focus on my happiness, not on theirs?
Probably not relying on others for your happiness. If you're excited to go home at the end of the day and do your little nighttime routine that you have, you're not going to be upset you're missing out on something because you have something you're looking forward to that's not relying on other people being there.
That is a big thing. I have found that if you're having fun with a new group or a new thing, that it doesn't really bother you what other people are doing.
Yeah, I mean, if you found something else to replace it and you're finding your happiness somewhere else, it's probably not going to upset you.
Well, I've always found, much like, I'm speaking exclusively to broadcasting here, that when somebody has left, God forbid, death or departed the station in some other way, that new people come on, and a lot of times that's always a better situation because you say, oh, this works much better. That was a little played out. We played that to the hilt, and now we've got something better.
Nice.
Yeah, no.
No, Matt, if you saw a picture,
Okay.
somehow, we Snapchatted it to you,
Alright.
you depart, and somebody else is sitting there. Now, would you get FOMO?
I don't know that I would. I think it'd be more sad than anything. I'd be like, well,
That's FOMO.
uh,
Yeah. So, Kerrington, let's say you departed for some reason, and we sent you a picture of somebody sitting there.
It probably depends on like the circumstance. Like
Well,
if I left willingly
I
and
also-
I wasn't replaced, like in a bad sense. Like I mean, like I'd still be sad. Yes, I think that like regardless, I'd be like, oh, like I like doing that because I do enjoy this.
I mean,
Well, I
I
think-
also think like in the circumstance how you had said like, and just imagine, say you had departed for whatever reason, and we sent you a pic. Like I feel like it would be almost rude for you to send me a picture of the
Well,
dude
no.
who took my spot, and then be like, hey, look at this man.
No, we're just advertising. Hey, listen to the show tonight. You're not here anymore. Now you're free to listen.
The way you phrased it, it sounded like you sent it directly to us.
Now that I say it, it's kind of funny because that's a lot of times where I've seen the FOMO is where you are advertising, obviously, and you say, listen, some people cannot listen anymore because they miss it. I mean, even when they leave willingly, it hurts them because they're not there anymore because a lot of times it just, you miss things. I mean, even when you purposely end things, it sometimes is still melancholy to you.
I mean, at the end of the day, it just opens up my availability to do more things that I'd rather not rather be doing, but things that I could be doing. Like I could go hunting or fishing or hang out with my friends. But like because I'm doing this a lot of the times, I don't necessarily have the time to do those kinds of things.
And I think that's not the issue. I think we all go on. Nobody's going to pass away.
Yeah.
But I think that's the point is oh, what's that? That person's sitting in my chair. That person is. They sound like they're having fun. I miss doing that.
Yeah, just a sense of like you enjoyed something and now it's no longer there. It's always a little bit bitter, I think, whenever that kind of thing happens. Like you can obviously look back and be like, oh, that was good. I guess it's just kind of a perspective thing. If you're like, oh, I'm grateful for the time we had, or if you're going to be like, oh, I miss it and I wish I could do that again.
But can't you do both?
I think you do. I think most people do naturally. I guess it's just trying to focus more so on the being grateful for what you had and not upset that it's gone.
Always watch somebody on their last day. Because usually people who leave willingly have a last show. And a lot of times they're a little emotional when they know that that's it. And I think that would cause FOMO, because if you're emotional when you're leaving, you're not going to be all that happy to see somebody else sitting there.
Yeah.
Even though you went on your own and you had your big goodbye and sayonara, it's tough now. Oh, they went on. Because in the back of everybody's mind, I think everybody thinks that they're the cog that keeps something going. In my case, it happens to be true, but in other people's cases, it's just a thought.
That's true. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you're not self-aware, maybe.
Well,
If
I
you
don't know.
think
I
you're
just
the cog.
I think people don't think it a lot of time, and I think in general, not just in broadcasting. I think people think that it's not going to bother them. They think great things are going on, and then the first time, it's just, ooh, I remember doing that. That was my position. That was my spot. I don't think I have this because I have left places before, and I've always done it willingly, and I was ready to go by that point. I was ready. Let's get out of here. Even though it was fun and I have good memories of it, I think things have beginnings and things have ends, and I don't understand why we have to harp on the ending. It's like people, and I'm not saying anybody in particular, but when people get heartbroken when a relationship ends, it ended. It's over. Their life's going to go on. So is mine. There's nothing to be sad about there.
I was watching a video earlier today, and it said something along the lines of, like, there was a guy that would show pictures of times in his life, like his wedding day. It wasn't like him being excited about being married. It was like he was losing his, like, freedom was his perspective. And, like, his daughter's first day of school, it wasn't him being excited that, like, she's growing up. It was, like, him being, like, sad that he was going to, like, be missing out on, like, all of the childhood things. And so, like, he was just, like, having the wrong perspective on, like, a lot of moments in his life, and he really regretted that.
People's frame of mind is not always right. As we've always said, and we've said it many times on this show, and we'll continue to say it, and this is why I like this, nobody ever thinks they're evil. Nobody ever thinks they're making the wrong choice. Nobody ever thinks they're a bad person. If you did, you wouldn't be doing it.
That's true. You have to have some sort of good intention, I feel like.
Yeah, and God forbid, I mean, we're not all perfect. We've all done those things, but nothing's 100%. Nothing's a slam dunk until it's over, and you don't know. Mm-hmm. So until you're in it, you don't know if it's a slam dunk. So there's that. So basically, for good mental health this entire year, so on December 31st, you're a good, happy person. Forget the JOMO. No, forget the FOMO. Embrace the JOMO. And again, FOMO is fear of missing out. JOMO is the joy of missing out. Now, this is maybe the weirdest topic, the next one we've ever done on this show, but I liked it because it brings up an interesting question, and I like words. And this really is all about a word. I mean, there's meaning behind this word, but it's the silliest story I've ever heard. And honestly, the story is not so much to this, but the word is. And that's the introduction to the weirdest story ever. A wife was getting foot massages from her husband. And at one point, the husband told the wife that he had a foot fetish. So he was enjoying these foot massages as much as she was. Then the wife said, "Whoa, I don't want you giving me foot massages anymore if you have a foot fetish." So the term is here, are fetishes bad? Any type of fetish? And is the term fetish bad? That's a term you don't hear a lot in society.
Yeah, I feel like fetish is a little taboo. Like, I don't like to talk about that. That's weird.
No, because fetish doesn't mean what you think.
Okay, what's it mean?
Fetish means obsessed with something.
Okay.
Something that makes you happy, but an obsessive way.
Okay.
Ted Williams has a foot fetish.
He did
said
admit
it on
that.
the show.
He did admit that. I do recall.
Right. I mean, we got into some. Go back and watch that episode. I mean, there's an interesting topic there. So, I mean, it's just an obsession. It's not a. I know it's not a sexual obsession. It's not that.
Yeah.
People think it is, but that's not exactly what it is. I mean, you could have a banana fetish. Boy, that was the wrong fruit to choose.
Wow.
Wow, I should have said anything else but banana. Wow, strawberry fetish. Strawberry fetish. But you can have a fetish of anything.
Yeah, I think it's just like the word, it like has the connotation like around it with the, like sexual fetish. So like I'd rather just say the word obsession. Like I would just choose to not use that word.
Really? I mean, that's that bad.
I mean, it's just the connotation. It's just how it's.
But is that the
kind of?
I never thought of Now there are fetishes, I guess, that can be sexual, but I never thought of the term fetish as a sexual term.
I've only heard to it referred of in that context.
Really?
Yeah, for the most part, I've only ever heard it in a sexual context.
I don't think that's right, though.
I don't think it is either, but like I think that's just the connotation around it, and that's how like society views it. So like it's easier to just say obsession without, because if you say I have a, table fetish, people are like, "What's wrong with you, you weirdo?" Like,
Okay, but that's interesting though. So if he had said to his wife, "I have a foot obsession," would that have been okay? Would she have said, "Okay, give me a foot massage"?
I mean, if you would have phrased this somewhere along the lines of "I'm obsessed with your feet," she might have just taken it as some kind of weird compliment.
Yeah.
I don't understand what happened here anyway. We're talking about getting a foot massage. You get that done when you get pedicures. They do that in spas. It's your husband who's doing it. What difference does it make what he's thinking while he's doing the foot massage? Who cares?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess since it was the husband, I thought that was a little weird too.
Yeah,
where she was like, "No more foot massages." It's like, who cares?
By the way, this was on Reddit, so this is not a made-up story.
Okay.
Go to Reddit, you can read the story.
Well, I mean, it could be made up on Reddit.
Could be, but I didn't make it up.
Fair enough.
It's true as far as we know.
True as far as we know, but I just think that's very strange, and so obviously words do matter. Because the word fetish, you two think is a horrible word. That would not throw me. If somebody said they had a fetish, that wouldn't throw me at all.
It's just like I would choose to not use that word because of like how people typically think about it.
But isn't that a little immature in a way? Maybe that's an age thing here, because I think there's a little immaturity to that because, I can't talk about that because you use the term fetish.
Oh, no, it's not that I can't. I would just, I don't want somebody, like, for me to say it and somebody giggle or take it the wrong way. So, like, I would just rather omit using it entirely than have that.
Before I preface this next question, before we move on, fetish is just a regular obsession with something. Do you have any fetishes? Not a sexual fetish. That's not what we're talking about here. Just, are you obsessed with something to the point where it's a fetish? Like, it's weird, but I enjoy it. That's what a fetish is.
I would say probably not. Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
Some people have those weird things, fetishes.
Do you have a fetish?
I'm talking to you. Do
I'm
you
talking
have a
to
fetish?
you. I
Do you have a
asked
fetish?
you first, so Scott
No.
now needs to answer.
No. Well, I do?
Yeah, go
Oh,
ahead.
excuse me. I didn't know you were hosting the show.
No, I was just asking you a question, though. No host.
Why would you ask me that? I'm a journalist.
You asked-
I wouldn't
you asked
I wouldn't
that.
answer that. But you guys aren't journalists. You're co-hosts.
Excuse me, we're not journalists?
We're not journalists yet. I mean, you could be.
Yeah, so we can't taint our image if you're not willing to taint your images with us. So
As,
go ahead.
as somebody said to me at one point, I'm a journalist. And the reply was, where's your journal?
But it's...
Exactly. Where's your journal? No, I mean, seriously. I mean, it could hurt my reputation because I've interviewed people. Mayors. I had the big interview with Miranda McGinnis this week that has went viral all over the place, and I could tell you about that, but I'm not going to. But you guys don't have anything to lose here, so do you have a fetish?
No.
Liar. I think you do.
I don't think I do.
I think you do because you went to me a little too quick, and then you...
I just knew that you were going to come to me next, and so I just...
And you
beat
didn't want to
with a punch.
answer.
No.
You could have
no.
just said no. Oh, God, I was hoping the new year wouldn't start out like this.
We all should take turns answering. We're co-hosts.
Okay, well then give an answer, and I'll give an answer.
I think my response would be cookies. I really love cookies.
You have a cookie fetish.
Yeah.
So, like you really like cookies?
Yeah. Like I would eat a cookie a day at least.
I thought your fetish was Cheez-Its.
I
After
also
last
love
Friday night.
Cheez-Its. Yeah. No, that's my favorite snack. Cookies like my favorite dessert.
Okay.
So
why more, like you also like beef and noodles?
I mean,
Okay.
that's...
Okay, but so what is the difference in your mind between a cookie and beef and noodles? What makes one a fetish and one a food that you like? This is why I'm a journalist, because of questions like these.
I think about cookies more. Like I crave them more. Like
Crave.
Yeah.
Like what do you mean crave? Like you sit at work and you think cookies.
It's just like, it's like more naturally my mind is like, I wish I had a cookie. Like a cookie sounds good right now. Like more often I'm desiring a cookie than
A
I
certain
am
type of cookies?
other food. Yeah, chocolate chip cookies.
Chocolate chip cookies. There you go. Certain brand?
No, they just need to be soft.
Like chewy.
Not chewy, because like I don't want the store-bought
Like Chips Ahoy
chewy. No, I don't
are
want
hard.
chewy Chips Ahoy. There's chewy Chips Ahoy too.
I understand that.
Okay.
But regular Chips
I know about cookies.
regular Chips Ahoy are not chewy.
No, so I only
So what do you
really
need to do?
those...
Like if I want to give you a cookie, do I need to like go running under the tap water, get it nice and,
No,
soft?
I like those in milk. They're not bad then. No, my ideal cookie is like it's like soft in the middle and like the outside is also soft. Maybe I just like warmed up cookie dough. I don't know. I just really like cookies that are soft.
So your fetish is nothing.
I don't know.
Your fetish is warmed up cookie dough. Fascinating.
What's
Or
your
what-
fetish?
Honestly, I don't think I have one. I mean, I'm really trying to work up something. You can shake your head no all day long. I'm really trying to work up one here that I have a fetish, but I don't really think I do. There's nothing that I crave
Diet
or...
Coke.
Maybe, but I don't drink it at home. That's always a shock to people who I'm not around. At home, I don't have, and people who have been to my house will vouch, because they come over and they want soda. And I don't have soda at home. I don't drink it at home.
Is that a health choice? You just like try to drink it just out?
No, it's a long story. It's a weird story. It has nothing to do with my health, but it's just too long to tell here right now.
Oh no, we have plenty of time. Go ahead.
No, we've got other topics to hit. But it's just, no, you know what it was? I used to buy, it's deeper than this, but the truth of it, I used to buy 2 liters because I was not a big can person. I would buy the 2 liters and they fill up the garbage can really quick. And I decided that I did not care for that. So I was going to go to something that didn't fill up the garbage can. So I switched to lemonade and I thought this really tastes good and I think it's better hydration. So I don't drink, if I'm like on the weekend, I very rarely drink soda.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I really want the deeper version. I'm so curious.
Well, that's just that's the short version.
the tip of the iceberg there.
Tip of the iceberg. On to the next topic. Now, this is not what you think it is, but so stick around it because we don't do current events on this show, really. But Michelle Obama was on a podcast, and she says she is in fear of 2024, the elections that will happen this year. We have a presidential election and a lot of state and Senate races, congressional races in 2024. And she says the reason she's fearful is because she believes that young Americans, and most Americans in general, have come to take democracy for granted. They don't feel they need to vote. They don't feel the outcome matters. They can't do anything to change it. And that if certain people get in office, and remember Michelle Obama says this, that there could be real trouble. So she's got a fear. She's fearful this year. So the question is, not the political question, because we don't do that on this show, but the question is do people care? Do you care?
Me personally, I do care, yes, but I think that there are a lot of people my age and a little bit older and younger who do not care. Like, there are a lot of people who I know who, if you try to talk about politics or anything of the sort, they'll just tell you like that.
You have a little bit of a political fetish.
No.
No, you'll come in for political interviews.
I like politics. Politics is interesting.
Like you say, you get so mesmerized at city council meetings that you forget to take the pictures you're there to take.
They're intriguing.
It's a fetish. You're fetish. You have a city council
I guess
fetish.
so. Look at that.
My goodness, it all comes out here finally. It's a big circle on this show. No, but you're right. But I don't think people, and Michelle Obama said this in the podcast, that people don't realize to the fact that government affects their life. Government doesn't affect my life.
I mean,
it affects every aspect of your life.
If you ask people who don't vote why they don't vote, the majority of the time they'll tell you it's because my vote doesn't matter. It's just one vote. But there are so many people who think that their vote doesn't matter. It's just one vote. That I think it's like what 55% of the population votes or doesn't vote. One of the two. I'm not sure, but it's like flip flop.
It'd be both. 50-50.
No. Like,
no,
50,
I think like 40% of the population votes or something.
Yeah,
or
What's
like,
the question?
he was talking about the percentage of people that do
I
or
must have
don't
blanked
vote.
out during this for a second.
So like
If you say 50% votes, that means 50% doesn't vote.
That's not what
I
he said. He
said-
said 55.
Yeah, 55. I think that 40. I think
Pay attention. Is he just spacing
45
out?
No, he
here?
did not say 55. We've got the tape.
He said 55.
It's 50%. I heard it. And we'll play the tape back later on.
Oh,
But
we
go ahead,
will.
make your
Oh,
point.
we will.
Make your point.
But so when basically half the country believes that their vote doesn't matter because it's just one vote. So there's half the country that doesn't vote, but the entire country complains about the state of the politics.
See, half. 50.
I said about half because it averages out to like 45% of people.
I'm sorry. That's what I'm stuck on now. Do people care, Kerrington?
I don't know.
Do you realize how south things can go quick?
Kind of, but also at the same time, I guess I just haven't seen a lot of like drastic impacts on my life personally. Like I know there have been like things that have like obviously changed like recently with like the last election. Like I mean the state election obviously with like the abortion and like marijuana stuff. So like that is like an impactful change. But I guess like in my mind like whoever the president is like doesn't impact me directly a bunch. And not to say that it like doesn't matter and like you shouldn't care, but like I can see where like Michelle Obama is coming from saying that like she thinks younger people don't care because in a sense it does kind of feel like, oh, you know, I mean, no matter who wins, like they're going to make choices and like things are going to happen. So like nobody's, you know, ended the world yet. Like I'm more afraid of like I'm more afraid of like war. Like if like the wrong person gets in there and then like people like want to attack America or something, like that's what I would be afraid of.
So
like,
you said the word yet.
Yeah. I mean,
do we have to have that happen for you to go to the polling
No,
place?
I've gone and voted, but like I don't know that like there's an option on the polls where I'm like, oh, this one will keep us out of like world war.
Well, I think people
like,
don't research the candidates. I mean, there is a big difference. That's why when somebody says, there are two things I don't like that people say. They're the same. They're not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Research them. And number two, I'm an independent. Now, you can be a registered independent, but if I go down and ask you about 5 different questions, which I'm not going to do here right now, I will tell you which candidate is more aligned with you than the other. You're not really an independent.
Yeah, I mean, I just like it's hard because it's like you can't agree with like everything either person thinks. So like
no, but most people tend to be 4 out of 5.
So do you just pick? So do you just pick based on the majority you have then?
Do I pick?
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess.
No, I'm saying, but I certainly know which candidate on these big issues that do impact my life. I certainly know where they vote, and that usually is the practicality of which a certain party. Of course it is. Wouldn't that be dishonest to say it's not?
I mean, like, I would just think that, I mean, I don't know if I've ever said it on the radio, but it doesn't matter necessarily, so...
Say it quick, because we're down to a minute in this segment.
Right. Well, I have also classified as an independent, but like, I would disagree, because, like, I could go back and forth on a lot of things, and I jumped from Democrat to Republican on most of the topics.
We know what, we're going to come back and finish this topic up, and we've got a couple more to go. Boy, we're heating up here in 2024. Back right after this. And we're back here on the Exchange. Kerrington Nelson, Matt Morgan, Scott Spears, first episode of 2024. And the topic we're in right now is Michelle Obama said on a podcast recently that she's worried about 2024 because of the elections coming up, because she believes most Americans in general, but especially young people, don't care. They don't realize how important government is, and they don't realize that the decision they might make this coming November, they don't realize how much it's going to impact them and how much government does impact your life. Now, Matt, you were talking about being independent when we went to break. So finish that thought.
I pretty much did. I am pretty sure. Just like there are a lot of topics that I feel like people do bounce back. I'm not gonna pick one, I guess, but just like a lot of topics that like Republicans for example, like I don't know, oil. Like Republicans like oil and get like they want to like pump, whereas Democrats want like renewable energy, green energy, that kind of thing. I feel but you could also pick another thing like I don't know, gun rights, and then just like you could be Republican on one issue, Democrat on the other issue, and it could just go like that down the list of issues.
It usually doesn't, though. It really doesn't. I think we've seen that here in Ohio recently, because we had abortion and we had the recreational use of marijuana on the ballot, and both of those passed easily with the same margin. I believe 58% it was, in a very Republican statewide. So I don't think we can say that those are Democratic issues anymore, which I think at one time people would have said they are.
Right, so you think that those are Republican issues now?
No, I think those have become just issues that people support. I think those are no longer political issues. I think the political issues now have become gun rights. I think political issues now are global warming is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. I think that certainly a political issue is, what do you think about religion and politics? That's a big issue right now. I think a big issue is where do you think tax money should go? How are jobs going to be created? And people do tend to align one way or the other. I'm not saying there couldn't be one outlier issue, but they're not a whole lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Do you research the candidates, or you just go in and mark names?
I try to skip ones where I haven't researched them at all and don't know anything, but sometimes I'm just marking names.
I feel like you should never just go in and mark names. I didn't get a vote in the last one, obviously, but I did register this one, so I would recommend always doing research on the candidates you vote for before you vote for them. I wouldn't even recommend voting down party lines. It's not a good policy.
We are going to elect the president this year. Should Michelle Obama be worried?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Personally, I don't think so, but I mean, if you listen to Kreskin, yeah.
Carrington?
I don't know, just no worse. That's all. I don't.
How do you decide who's going to put you in a war or not?
You don't. That's why I don't know if that's like a political thing. Like, is that what she's worried about, or like what is she worried about that they're going to do? Like.
Oh, I think most people watching this show realizes what she's saying.
I don't. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, clearly she's not in the Republican side. Okay. And clearly on the Democratic side, the presidential campaign is her husband's former vice president, Joe Biden. So I don't think the worry is there, but I think clearly the worry, not to become political on this show, lies with Donald Trump and the fact of what he did before and January 6th.
Is he running for president?
Oh,
he is, yes. He's actually the lead candidate right now. Well, actually, I do believe he has been the lead candidate throughout the entirety of the primaries.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not saying you should be worried about Donald Trump. I'm just saying that's what Michelle Obama, I would imagine, is probably worried about.
I think we just need some fresh people in general. Like, haven't we seen Joe Biden, like, forget a lot of things? And he's, like, pretty old, and Donald Trump has, like, all the possible going to jail stuff. Like, do we not have any better? Do we not have any better choices? Thanks.
If you go back and you watch old Joe Biden interviews, I do believe that Joe Biden always has talked in that measured way.
I think he was a stutterer when he was a kid. I mean, I really think that's true. So, I mean, really, people are making fun of a...
Oh, a disability.
And
okay. So, I don't know that. And, like, I guess maybe I'm just saying, like, younger people in general, like,
check it,
need some fresh people. Like, they're not going to see the results of whatever they decide to do because they're 70 and 80 years old. Like,
I mean, Donald Trump in the realm of politics is relatively new. He's only run for 3 offices, and they're all 3 offices of president.
But again, herein lies the problem. We vote for these people. They don't just here's our presidential candidates. It's because people vote in primaries and put them in there.
Well, we need some new people to run or something then. I don't know. Somebody's got to get their name out there that's not
Not now.
75 plus.
Not now.
With
We're
a
running
criminal record.
Joe Biden really doesn't have any.
Not remembering.
Joe Biden really doesn't have any competition at this point. Trump does, but doesn't seem to be doing anything.
That's crazy.
I
Yeah,
mean-
we'll see what happens.
I think Trump has competition, but I don't know how lucky the competition's gonna get. I wouldn't say I've been keeping up with the numbers, but like every time I've looked at the numbers, Donald Trump holds a solid lead. Solid lead.
And moving on to a lighter topic now. Joe Coy, comedian, was the host of the Golden Globes this past Sunday.
Oh my
nice.
gosh. Go ahead.
You heard about this?
I know. Go ahead.
Do you know Joe Coy?
I do now.
Because of this story.
Yeah.
Okay. And I saw some of the video footage. Look it up if you want to on YouTube. He was doing jokes and trying to be funny, and it was not playing with the crowd at all. And then he got defensive with the crowd, and he wasn't reading the room right, and it just was not good. So the question is, do you need to know the room better for the jokes you're telling and what you're doing? And did he handle the crowd well? If you watch the clips, no, he did not.
I mean, I think if you're I was gonna say comedian, but not even a comedian. I think if you're just an entertainer in general, you have to have different material based on where you are, and that kind of thing.
I would almost guess that I know why you know about this topic, because there was a clip. Go ahead.
Yes.
Why
okay.
Taylor Swift was at the Golden Globes, I have no idea, but she
because of her
was.
movie. She released the Eras
That was up for an
tour
award?
film. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. For box office awards, because a lot of people went to see the movie in theaters, and then people were up and dancing in theaters. So I think there was a real possibility.
There's a box office award at the Golden Globes?
Yes. Did you not watch it?
No, I didn't watch it.
Okay, I watched a little bit of it. Yeah, there's a box office
Why
award.
did you watch it?
I just turned it on, honestly. I didn't know Taylor Swift was going to be there, so that's not why.
And
I did see her, but...
This man cracked a joke on her, and they went to her face, and she gave the sourest face.
No, she was honestly
she didn't even
just
smile.
sitting there. Yeah, she just
smile.
sat there.
Suck it on a straw. She didn't even smile.
Yeah, she was just sipping her drink. She was like, okay, haha. Because it was some Travis Kelce joke or something.
It was.
They've shown her more at the NFL than they had that night or something, or what was it?
Yeah, there was. We'll screw up the joke as bad as Joe Coy did, but basically it was Taylor Swift has improved the ratings of the NFL just by appearing in NFL games. So something like, we're going to show her more here to get the ratings up, or she's seen more at NFL games than here. It was something like that.
Yeah.
It was there was a punchline. You could tell it was a joke, but she didn't like it. And they put the camera right on her face, and it didn't play well in the room.
See, yeah, and I don't like how I feel like people have made it she had a big reaction to it. Like you said, she was sour.
Well, she did.
She just sat there. No, there's that whole thing.
You're supposed to laugh.
Yeah, you're supposed to, but maybe she just didn't think it was funny. And if that's all she did, I don't think that's a big deal. Especially because remember the Chris Rock thing where they made this joke about Jada Smith, and then he came up and literally slapped the guy in the face.
Her husband did.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. So that was a big reaction. That was crazy. She just sat there. She just wasn't I don't know. I think that people made it into her being more dramatic and upset than she was.
Well, because she's the person of the year.
Yeah, I guess so. They're just watching her every move.
The rule is when people make a joke about you have to pretend like it's funny, even if you don't believe it is, or people will think you're sour.
Well, maybe
you
she
don't have a
didn't
sense of humor about
Maybe
yourself.
she didn't appreciate the joke.
And clearly she did not.
Clearly she didn't.
I think it was probably just not a funny joke. Maybe she just didn't want to force a laugh on a joke that wasn't funny.
Yeah, but when it's about you've got to laugh, because 9 times out of 10 you're not going to like it because it's about you. But you don't sit there stone-faced because people are going to say you're sour. You don't have a sense of humor about yourself.
Anytime somebody decides to make a joke on you, I guess I don't know how else to phrase it, but use you for a joke. You always, if it's not a good joke, you always just got to look at them and say, if you're gonna use me in a joke, at least make it good, and then that's that.
Yeah, but was there any chance that he wasn't gonna go to her at some point that night? There's no chance, none.
I guess he should have made it better. She's allowed to sit there stone-faced if she wants to. She's the person of the year.
She is, but also if people go she's stone-faced and she's sour, which a lot of people have said that's also what you have to take. If she'd laughed, I don't think it'd have been a story.
I mean, I could be wrong, and I would.
But he made so many bad jokes. That was the problem.
Does she?
Oh
does
my
she ever
gosh.
like smile in her pictures? Like, anyways.
Yeah.
Usually, it's like you get like the.
She does like a closed mouth smile.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, I don't know. It's not like she's always out there like giggly, smiley, laughing, like that kind of thing. Anyways, she's never.
The mistake this guy made, what I didn't like, I mean, your jokes cannot be funny. Sometimes you just got to take it. The room's just not yours, and maybe sometimes the energy's down, and you just got to take it. His big mistake was, at one point, blaming the audience. You don't blame the audience. At one point, he was, well, I just found out about this a couple weeks ago, and I had to write my own jokes, because he knew he was dying. And so he blames it on the audience, and you'd never do that. You just got to go out, and it'll seem like 10,000 years, and it'll seem like it's never ending, but you just got to go through it.
He should just like have changed it and just like not try to keep joking. Just spend it. Just,
He's
like,
a comedian.
Made an award show or something and just been like, okay, in our next one, like just to keep it going.
But that's
like,
not
at
what
that
people
point.
want.
Well, they didn't want the jokes either.
No.
He made a joke. There was one where he compared like the Oppenheimer movie and the Barbie movie.
Yes. He made fun of the Barbie money.
That was a bad
Oh.
one. That was a bad one. Yeah.
Oh, they cut to somebody in the Barbie movie too, and boy, she was nasty face too.
Yeah, that wasn't cool. I mean, the whole thing was about like feminism
It's a
and like
joke,
women having
though.
rights and stuff. Yeah, but you just don't joke about topics like that, I guess.
What
It was
did
a
you
movie.
take that joke? Yeah, this movie. What did you take that joke as?
What do you mean?
Well, his joke about the Oppenheimer project in Barbie. Why is that a bad joke?
Because
I mean,
he said Oppenheimer is about like history and like some 713-page book, and then he said and Barbie's a movie about women with big boobies.
he's calling it trivial.
Yes, but like it was.
By
like,
the way,
it wasn't.
she can say boobies, but I can't say fetish.
Yeah, I can say that if I want.
Think about it.
That's what the comedian said. He said.
Oh, that was a quote.
He
Excuse
said,
me.
Yes, he said big
If I was on-
boobies.
if I was
the
only-
like point of the movie.
If I could have only quoted fetish, it wouldn't have been okay.
Yeah.
But you can quote boobies.
Yeah. That's what he said.
What was the joke again?
That like Oppenheimer had a
Oppenheimer
bunch
was
of like
deep.
history and it was deep, and the Barbie movie was a movie about women with big boobies.
Was it the wrong word? Was that the problem?
No, I think that he just missed the point of the Barbie
Was he
movie.
trivializing Barbie?
He just like he.
I can't even. Honestly, this is funnier to me than the whole skit was.
The whole thing was about like the like women can be
toy.
any. No, but did you see the movie?
No, but
Okay,
it is a
obviously
toy.
you didn't
It
see
is a
it.
toy.
Yes, but the point of it was like
a movie based
that
on a
Barbie,
toy.
but like Barbie is supposed to like empower women, and like she's showing you that you can be anything that you want to be. And then he said it was just about women with big boobs. Like that's not cool. Like,
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. It's not.
No. There's like a.
Are there women with big chests in this movie?
I don't recall. I wasn't like staring at the chests to identify. They were probably average sized.
Listen, that's such bull. What you just did, you pulled a common thing that people do. That is such bull. I'm not saying you went to the movie to check out the chest size of these women, but in your mind, if you've seen the movie, you can recall it to say,
no,
did they have big chests
I
or not?
cannot. No, because I know a movie that I saw recently where I can recall that, and it was not the Barbie movie.
Oh, what movie's that?
Anyone But You.
Oh,
That's
you're
what
right.
the
You're
movie
right.
is. The
Anyone
main character
But
there.
You.
Yes, she.
What's that about? I don't really care.
It's a rom com. It's a rom com.
All right, so they
Yeah.
have the big chests in that movie.
Yes, they did there. I genuinely don't remember. That wasn't like a.
So why did you remember that movie's chest size?
Because that one was like obvious. Like that one was those were big boobs. Like the Barbie movie was like regular sized. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God!
Sorry, you asked the question. What am I supposed to say?
I never dreamed that we finally reached the point where we're talking about boobs.
Well, you asked.
No, I'm just saying I think that's a very interesting thing because Joe Coy died for making apparently a joke. Was the focal point of that joke about boobs?
He literally said that Barbie was a movie like he said like women with big boobs or something, and like it wasn't like it was about more than like.
Yeah, but now this is where I'm different. I thought that joke was about trivializing women, and that's why it didn't work. I didn't think it was about the word boobies, whatever.
No,
he
it was
said.
just about the fact that like that's what he like reduced the whole film down to, and like where it was
But it was a
supposed to be
joke.
like. Yeah, but it wasn't funny because like why would you like?
Well,
why
how
would
could you
do
have made that joke funny?
You shouldn't make the joke.
Really?
Yeah.
At all?
No.
You can't joke about the Barbie movie?
No jokes about the Barbie movie.
Oh. See, now here's where we're getting in trouble because I probably, if I was hosting the award show, that's something you would go after because it was a hugely popular movie, and Barbie is trivial in a way. I'm not saying the movie's, don't get angry. I'm not saying that the movie is trivial. I saw it in your eyes there. The movie's not trivial, but it's a toy. That's where this came from. And if you haven't seen the Barbie movie, that's all you understand, and I don't think that 50% or 55% of the population has seen the Barbie movie. A lot of people did, but not the majority.
Yeah, but it was just fine, make a dig at Oppenheimer then. I don't know what joke you're going to make
Oppenheimer's
there.
up.
Well,
I mean,
yeah. What do you mean?
Was it up this year?
Yeah, they were up against. They were released on the same.
Did Barbie
weekend.
win?
Yeah, I think it did.
Barbie won and Oppenheimer didn't?
I mean, there were other categories. There were several categories where
Who's
they had.
voting for these awards?
I would say that
You didn't see the movie. If you start trash talking the Barbie movie, I'm leaving. Stop that. It was good.
I don't think I trash talked the Barbie movie. I've never seen the Barbie movie.
Yeah, I know, but you're like, oh, what, that be Oppenheimer? Yeah, you're kind of demeaning it.
No, I haven't seen Oppenheimer either. I'm just saying.
I think that if you liked Oppenheimer, I think you might almost be a little upset that he compared Oppenheimer to a movie about Barbies.
Yeah, so why are you so upset
I think it's just because you like the Barbie movie.
All these shows we've done, you're going to walk off over Barbie?
No, that was it was about women, empowerment stuff. It was a great film.
But I haven't seen it, so you can't expect me to know about Barbie.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. Well, just don't make a joke about it.
I don't think I was.
Okay.
I was just saying that I can understand why you would go at a movie that had such popularity. It's the same reason he went after Taylor Swift, because she's very popular. You don't go after the person who nobody knows.
The jokes weren't hitting, so...
They weren't, but what I told you. But you know what? You just keep telling them, and you keep failing, because what are you going to do at that point? You're on live television. It ain't stopping.
You're in too deep.
You're in it. You just got to go. The mistake I had a problem with is where he blamed the audience. He shouldn't have done that.
Okay.
How did he blame the audience?
He got up there at one point and said, I just found out about this a few weeks ago. What do you expect? I had to write these jokes myself. I mean, it was...
You're a comedian.
Yeah, but that's not how
You
award
write jokes professionally.
No. Let me tell you how the Academy Awards work. They choose that host about 6 months in advance, and there are writers on the side of the stage, because they don't know the winners of the awards. And there are writers there, and they have a joke for every movie that wins. And that comedian, that host, or whoever's hosting that show, goes out and gets that joke in the meet.
Oh, wow.
They are, oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
wow.
this isn't spontaneity you're seeing at these award shows.
Yeah, it's a very staged response.
Yeah, so maybe he didn't have the right writers. Maybe he didn't have writers at all. Maybe he was the last choice. Maybe he should have thought of that before he went.
Yeah, maybe he shouldn't have agreed if he wasn't prepared.
Yeah, and I don't even know that a lot of people watch the Golden Globes anyways, but that's showbiz.
Yeah.
So why not one juicy topic before we wrap this one up here today? This is very similar to a topic we did earlier in 2023, but it is a little different. And I know you guys don't believe this happened, but again, this is a real story, and this might be from Reddit as well. But here it is. Here you go. One sister, apparently there's a family of at least 3 sisters. One sister...
If this is somebody dating their brother, their sister's boyfriend,
It is. That's exactly what it is. But it's a different situation here.
Okay.
One sister admitted to another sister that she was with the third sister's husband. Okay, follow that.
Okay.
One sister...
So number 1 was with number 3's husband.
Right.
Yeah, so there's a middle sister
but
right now.
But told number 2 that she was doing this. Yeah, now she's got to decide if
she's going to tell her sister or not.
Well, number 1 has said she will not confess to sister number 3 that she's sleeping with her husband. But sister 2, who's now been confided in, doesn't want to ruin the relationship with sister 1. Because obviously they're close, that's why she confided in her. But she also feels bad because she's not telling her sister that sister number 1 is having the affair with her husband. So, should she rat her sister out?
Oh, that's tough.
See, that's not the same.
I would rat her out.
Oh, see, you say that's so easy, but that's not. Listen, you create a whole dynamic there. You ain't having Thanksgiving in 2024.
Because, I don't know.
You'll die as bad as Joe Coy at the Golden Globes.
Because, look, if I was already thrust into the middle of it by being told that the situation was going on, because now it's a lose-lose either way. Because if the sister 3 finds out that, and then that sister 1 was sleeping with her husband, and then that she finds out that I know, instantly she's gonna hate me for not telling her.
Yeah, but then
sister 1 and me are gonna be friends still, but
right, but you're still gonna lose one.
Yeah, either way.
Right.
I think I'd rather just tell.
pick the sister you're closer to.
Yeah, because I mean,
Stay loyal to them, I guess.
Really?
like,
So it's not the moral issue
because, like,
of
it was-
having an affair with
I
a
think-
husband.
I mean, there is like the moral issue. Like, I guess like on a moral level, like you should probably tell her because she has like a right to know. But,
mean, I
like,
think
if
if
you're
you're
like
gonna-
not super close with her, I guess like it's your choice at the end of the day.
I mean,
like,
if you're gonna pick based off of loyalty, I think I would pick the sister who, I think I would pick Sister 3 still because, Sister 3.
Is the one who's having the affair.
no, that's
Or
the
having
one,
the affair done on her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, that's what I thought.
she's the victim.
Because
to run
Sister
subtitles
3,
on this episode.
Sister 3 got betrayed by Sister 1.
Yeah.
And so why she betrayed the bond there. There is no loyalty with her. Why you want to be loyal to her?
She confided in you.
She confided, but she
Yeah, but she's sleeping with your
Yeah,
sister's husband.
but she betrayed.
trust her.
Yeah, but she betrayed our sister.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's a great point, actually.
I don't think it is, but that's okay.
I think it is a good point.
No, that's not okay. Listen, this family does not
You
hide.
want no, Scott. Listen. So you want
No,
me?
if you're sleeping with your siblings,
See, this is why we do these subjects, because they bring out the anger more than anything else. Go ahead.
If you want me to be loyal to you, you got to be loyal to we were all siblings. So you're like, hey, look, man, I want you to not tell. I want you to take my side on this. But at the same time,
I
I'm
think
sleeping
that's
with our
implied.
sisters. No,
I think
Yeah, but
that's
she's
implied.
obviously the one in the wrong.
yeah, she's definitely the one.
Oh, I think she knows she's in the wrong.
Then she
Don't-
should have confided in somebody that didn't have this
Yeah.
moral obligation.
Don't pick somebody who's got skin in the game.
Listen,
Yes.
here's what you
yes,
do. You want to know what
love
you...
to talk about skin in the game. Don't pick
Yeah.
somebody with skin in the game.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what you really do here. You say nothing.
Exactly. If you
Yeah.
look, say nothing.
Say nothing. But you said tell her.
Wait.
You guys are just talking about
No, no,
different
no.
nothings. You're
Yes.
saying
I'm saying you
you're
don't say
saying don't
and.
confess.
It's not your business.
I was saying that
Not
Sister
your
2,
circus,
wait.
not your monkeys.
No, I was saying that Sister 1 should just not have confessed to Sister 2.
No,
Yeah.
that
Left
cat's
it
out
at
of the
that.
bag. You
At
can't.
least then Sister 2's not put in the situation.
But you can't unding that bell. That's done.
I mean, I think it's wrong to put to put the second sister in that situation. 'cause
Too
you-
late.
You are because the sister.
That ship has sailed.
Sister 1 already knows that if she tells, she's gonna be mad at Sister 2, and that if she doesn't tell, and Sister 3 finds out that Sister 1 has put you now in this precarious spot to where you are now instantly
But
choosing
too
between
late.
one of the
Like
siblings.
she's the one
Too
that let
late.
the cat out of the bag. So if you're gonna be able to tell one person, it's like if you killed someone, right? Like you should never tell anyone that because even if you tell one person, then you're putting that on that person to have to decide if they're
you
going
speaking
to
from
rat you out.
experience?
No, I'm just talking about it in general. If you really don't want anybody else to find out, don't tell anyone.
But too
People
late.
can't
I
know
don't
if
think you
nobody
understand
knows.
the circumstances
I think
here.
I understand the
cat
circumstances.
is out of the bag.
It's that
She
Sister
told her.
1's stupid.
Oh.
Forget Sister 1.
Listen.
Forget Sister 1. get
Sisters
Sister
2 and
1.
3 for life.
Yep. 2 and 3 for life. I'm with Kerrington.
But
Yeah.
Sister 2 still likes Sister 1. Again, I don't think you heard
Well,
the end of this
Sister
story.
1 isn't trustworthy.
Yeah, no, not
Let me get
trustworthy.
in. Can I get in? Here's what I'm trying to say to you. This is not my family, but here's the point that I think you missed. The sister who has now been confided in is saying, I don't want to ruin the relationship with the sister who confided in me.
Right, I get that, but
Well, apparently you
okay,
don't.
No, I do, but logistically, she's not a great person. She's
Yeah, but,
sleeping with your sister's husband.
the
Pick
si-
your loyalty to the other sister.
The sister that you don't want to betray.
Logistically, it matters where they live.
The sister you don't.
don't know.
The
Logistically,
sister you
maybe
don't
that's the
want to
right word.
betray the loyalty of. Betrayed the loyalty of.
But
Sister
you
3.
care. Listen, this is not you. This is this woman. I think you're missing the point here. You can tell whatever you want. I'm just saying, if you want not to ruin the relationship with the sister who confided in
There's
you,
nothing-
say nothing.
There's not. I mean, yes. I guess if you don't like if Sister 3 is irrelevant, period.
If you hate your sister, say nothing.
Nobody's saying
Scott
she's
Spears
irrelevant.
said it first.
No, you don't say. Why is that your business? Why is that your? Why? Who cares?
Sister
Listen,
1 made it your
Yeah,
business.
No.
the moment
She
I-
did.
So
No.
Scott, if somebody came up, like what Kerrington said, if somebody came up to you and said, "I killed this person," and I had,
Hold on.
and then Scott,
no.
you're just gonna be
No.
like, "No, not my problem."
No.
I said,
No.
whoa, ignorance
That's
is bliss. Ignorance
that's
is bliss.
that is apples and oranges.
No,
No, it's
same
not.
thing, same thing.
Hold on.
If your mom comes to you and tells you she
Hold
killed
on.
someone.
Hold on. Calm down. Calm down. Back to earth here. Here's what I'm saying. That is apples and oranges. Murdering somebody is illegal. Having an affair is not. These are not the same things.
I don't care. I think that.
God, you act like having an affair is murder. It's
yeah,
not murder.
it is. You're murdering their love.
I think
No.
I think immoral is immoral.
Fine. Well, that's not true because there are things that are illegal, and there are things that are immoral that are not illegal.
Well, I mean, either way, it's immoral, is it not?
It is not your business. Because somebody tells you a secret does not mean that you have to go blab that secret. A matter of fact, the reason they told you that was probably so you wouldn't blab it.
I mean, no.
If you don't want it blabbed,
I
just
think
don't
that's
blab
immoral.
it.
I'm with
Go
Kerrington.
back, just don't blab it. Like, keep it to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, the first
That's
time
what
we
I'm
ever
saying,
talked
keep it
about
to
secrets,
yourself.
that's
No,
what-
sister one, keep it to yourself.
No, sister. Why is it sister two obligation to go to the
Why
sister?
is it Sister 2's obligation to defend Sister 1?
Listen, if she asks you, that's the only situation where this would even pertain. If the sister who's having an affair came to you and said, "Listen, do you think that number one might be, our sister might be having an affair with my husband?" Then I wouldn't even say yes at that point. I would say, maybe you should go talk to her about that.
But she already said she's not going to tell her the truth. So even if she
That's right.
speculates
No,
it,
you don't go out of your way to tell that. That is such a that's immoral. Two immorals don't make it moral.
No, that's not what I'm not saying that, but like if they if she asks you and you already know the answer and like it's your sister, you care about her, like she
But it's
deserves
not
to know the
your
truth.
business.
Well, sister one made it your business whenever she told you. She should have not told you. Especially, it's somebody you're so close to. It's like if you had like three best friends and one of them like comes to you and is like, I hate the other one.
Right,
and now you're
right.
put in this like weird middle
So
situation.
you feel like you should go tell that person that number one hates them?
I feel like they shouldn't have come to you in the first place to tell you that. They should
Yeah,
have
it's
found
not
somebody else
too
to confide
late.
in.
It has
Too
nothing
late.
to do with
You
I know, so
can't
I just
unding
don't think
the
that
bell.
I don't think that you owe them that
Oh.
loyalty
Exactly.
whenever like they already know that they're in the middle position.
Especially once they've already dismissed the loyalty that was there to begin with.
By betraying.
Yes. By betraying the group of
They
friends.
haven't
that was
dismissed
there.
the loyalty to the sister in the middle. What's she done to the sister in the middle?
No,
She
Sister
hasn't.
1 has dismissed the loyalty to Sister 3.
Right. Yeah, I
Yes.
agree with
Sister
that.
2, so like why would you want to be loyal to somebody who's not loyal to, I guess,
Because maybe she likes her. It's her sister. She's been with her a long time.
I assume
Yeah,
she
but like
likes Sister
you have
3
like
too.
you have a group of like 3 loyalty, and if one person breaks the loyalty with another person, you should probably stick with the person that you were originally being
so let me
loyal with
understand
because you
this.
can trust them.
You believe that what the situation should be if somebody tells you a secret, clearly a confidence, that you should go out of your way to run to the person who doesn't know to tell them that confidence.
No,
That's
no,
what you're
I'm
saying
not. That is
here.
not what I'm saying.
That is what you're
I'm
saying.
being misconstrued. It's because they're a group of 3. Like they're a group of 3 sisters. So like they all have loyalty to one another. I'm assuming.
Apparently
like,
not.
Apparently they don't. So like, but sister 1 knows that sister 2 is like with sister 3 also. Like pick somebody else to confide in if you don't want this person to tell the other person whenever you already know that they have a close relationship.
This is a fractured thing to begin with because eventually this husband is going to slip up. So just let that happen on its own.
No, because then it's going to come out that you knew, and then all of a sudden Sister 3 is not going to like you anymore.
Yeah, she can't trust you anymore because you didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't tell her.
You know what? I'm going to tell you a very vague story here. I've been in a similar situation to this. Now, at one point, I knew that somebody was being cheated on. And eventually that came out with 2 minutes left to go, that they were being cheated on and the relationship ended. And at some point it came out that I knew that they were being cheated on. And that person came to me and said, "Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me?" And I said, "Because if I would have told you that your wife was cheating on you and I didn't have any evidence, I don't have the pictures, and you didn't believe it, you'd have been ticked with me. That's why you don't do it.
Yeah, I guess I just have a different perspective.
That's your
Like,
husband. You go monitor him. That's your fault."
Okay, I get where you're coming from in that case scenario. I guess I just think that, like, if somebody comes to you with this information, like, why would they pull that out of thin air
I
and,
think
like,
it's a little
randomly make
different
that up
because
about
it-
your significant other?
Oh, you wouldn't like to hear that. You wouldn't believe it. If you really believed your husband was not doing that and you loved your sister and did, clearly she doesn't suspect it, and then here comes sister, "Oh, guess what? You don't have any proof,
Yeah, but
you don't."
have proof, but, like, if you think
Nobody's gonna
somebody,
admit to
why
that.
would your sister pull that out of thin air? Like,
Yeah,
why would she
like,
randomly come to you and be like,
it's
hey,
not-
I know this? Because, like,
I mean, it's
just
not-
present it in a way where you're
yeah.
like, this is what I
1 minute
think.
left to go.
Because
Go.
it's
talk
not-
quick. Talk quick.
It's not only that you have told your sorry, it's not only that you would have told your sister.
What a way to start the year.
Lied to your sister that there was a cheating. Is you threw your other sister into it.
10
as well.
seconds.
That's all. Tell her.
Don't tell her. You're going to get in trouble. I'm telling you, you're going to end
Tell
up
her.
bad. For Matt Morgan, Kerrington Nelson, what an animated episode of The Exchange this was. Scott Spears for this week. Heading for the dugout.